Imagine standing by a calm river, watching the morning sun shimmer on the water. Suddenly, a small bear cub is swept away by a strong current, struggling to stay afloat. In that crucial moment, one guard's quick actions make all the difference. But what happens next, between the mother bear and the guard, will truly touch your heart. Deep in the Evergreen Forest Reserve, where wildlife lives freely, an extraordinary event took place that shows the power of nature and the dedication of those who protect it. Jake Thompson, a seasoned wildlife guard, was on his usual patrol when he saw a troubling sight by the riverbank, a young bear cub fighting against the strong current. Without a second thought, Jake acted swiftly, risking his own safety to save the innocent life. As he pulled the cub to shore, the mother bear came out from the trees, showing her fierce protection. What followed was a moving and beautiful interaction that not only saved a life, but also highlighted the deep connections between humans and wildlife. This story is a testament to bravery, compassion, and the incredible bonds that can form in the wild. Stay with us as we dive into the full story of this unforgettable rescue and the emotions that followed. Evergreen Forest Reserve spreads wide across the heart of the region, covering over 5,000 acres of untouched wilderness. This vast sanctuary is a safe place for countless species, offering them protection from the growing threats of nearby cities and habitat loss. From tall pine trees that sway with the wind to the peaceful river that winds through the landscape, Evergreen shows nature's strength and beauty. Walking through the reserve, you can't help but feel amazed by the variety of life here. The air is filled with the sounds of singing birds, rustling leaves, and the occasional call of a distant wolf. Every part of Evergreen is home to many different animals, each playing a key role in keeping the ecosystem balanced. Majestic elk graze peacefully in the meadows, while shy lynxes move quietly through the underbrush. The river, a lifeline for the reserve, is full of fish and provides water for all the animals that live here. At the center of this lively ecosystem is Jake Thompson, a dedicated wildlife guard whose passion for conservation runs deep. Jake's journey to Evergreen began long before he took on his role. Growing up in a small town near dense forests and winding rivers, Jake developed a strong love for nature from a young age. His childhood was filled with adventures outdoors, where he learned to respect and admire the wild creatures that shared his playground. Jake's commitment to protecting wildlife led him to study environmental science. His time in school was marked by a desire to learn and a wish to make a real difference in the world. After graduating with honors, Jake looked for opportunities that would let him combine his knowledge with his love for nature. When the job of wildlife guard at Evergreen Forest Reserve became available, Jake knew it was the perfect fit. The chance to work in such a pristine environment, protecting its inhabitants, was a dream come true. Every morning, before the sun rises, Jake is already awake, getting ready for his day. His routine is a mix of anticipation and responsibility. Putting on his uniform, equipped with binoculars, a first aid kit, and his trusty rescue rope, Jake sets out on his patrol. The early hours are important, providing a quiet time before the day's activities begin. As he walks along the familiar trails, Jake stays alert, listening for any sounds or movements that might signal a problem. Today, like any other day, Jake starts his patrol along the river that flows gracefully through Evergreen. The river is more than just a waterway, it's the lifeline of the reserve, supporting a wide range of species. The clear, cold water flows steadily, its surface reflecting the bright colors of the surrounding trees. Fish swim below the surface, while otters playfully chase each other along the banks. The river is also a key watering spot for larger mammals, giving them the water they need to survive. As Jake moves deeper into the reserve, the landscape changes subtly but noticeably. The tall pines give way to thick bushes and open meadows, each area offering its own unique environment. The play of sunlight and shadow creates a dynamic scene on the forest floor. It's in these quiet moments of observation that Jake feels most connected to the environment he works so hard to protect. Jake's role goes beyond just watching over the area. He's also responsible for making sure that the delicate balance of the ecosystem stays undisturbed by human activities. This involves teaching visitors about the importance of conservation, keeping track of wildlife populations, and responding quickly to any signs of trouble. His interactions with both the animals and the people who visit the reserve are guided by a deep sense of respect and responsibility. On this particular morning, the air is crisp and fresh, filled with the invigorating smell of pine and earth. The The sky is a clear blue with only a few light clouds drifting lazily overhead. As Jake walks along the riverbank, he takes a moment to appreciate the peace of his surroundings. The gentle sounds of the water and the rustling leaves create a soothing background, a sharp contrast to the fast pace of modern life. But peace in the wild is always delicate, and Jake knows this well. The reserve, while looking calm, is a living environment where life and survival are always changing. Predators and prey play their roles in an intricate balance, each species adapting to the challenges of their habitat. Jake's presence is a stabilizing force, making sure that this balance stays intact and that both animals and humans live together peacefully. As he continues his patrol, Jake's eyes watch the landscape for any signs of trouble. His training has taught him to notice the small changes that might indicate a problem: disturbed plants, unusual animal behavior, or sounds that don't belong. It's this sharp attention to detail that makes him an effective guard, able to respond quickly and appropriately to any situation that comes up. Today, however, feels different. There's a sense of unease that Jake can't quite explain. Maybe it's the way the morning light filters through the trees, casting long shadows that seem to move on their own. Or perhaps it's the distant sound of rushing water that doesn't quite match the usual flow of the river. Whatever it is, Jake feels a nagging feeling that something is wrong. As he approaches a particularly thick part of the forest, Jake notices a disturbance in the natural order. The ground here is softer, muddier than the rest of the riverbank, showing signs of recent activity. Footprints lead into the dense bushes, a clear sign that someone or something has been here recently. Jake's instincts kick in and he slows down, carefully following the trail with a mix of curiosity and caution. The trail leads him to a secluded area where the river widens, creating a small pool that glistens in the morning sun. It's a beautiful spot, one that Jake has seen many times during his patrols. But today, something feels off. The usual harmony of the area is disturbed, and Jake senses that there's more to this scene than meets the eye. As he stands by the edge of the pool, Jake takes a moment to take in his surroundings. The water is clear, letting him see the smooth stones at the bottom and the bright aquatic plants swaying gently in the current. The air is still, with only the soft rustling of leaves breaking the silence. It's the kind of place that shows the beauty and calm of Evergreen, a spot where both wildlife and humans can find peace. But beneath the surface, Jake senses a disturbance. The water flows with unusual strength, and there's a slight tension in the air that hints at something about to happen. His gaze is drawn to a specific point downstream where the current seems especially strong. It's there that Jake spots movement, something small and out of place in the otherwise calm setting. As he focuses his binoculars on the source of the disturbance, Jake's heart races. There's a bear cub, barely a few months old, struggling against the powerful current. The little creature's tiny paws slap desperately at the water, its eyes wide with fear as it tries to stay afloat. The situation is serious, and Jake knows that every second counts. Without any hesitation, Jake springs into action. His training takes over, guiding his every move as he carefully evaluates the best way to approach the rescue. The river's current is strong, making it a dangerous place for both the cub and himself. But Jake's priority is clear: save the cub no matter the risk. He grabs his rescue rope, a strong piece of equipment designed for emergencies like this, and carefully moves closer to the struggling cub. The water is cold and fast-moving, making each step forward a challenge against the current. Jake reaches out to the cub, speaking in calm, soothing tones to help both the animal and himself stay steady. With a quick and careful motion, he secures the rope around the cub and begins the tough task of pulling it to safety. The mother bear watches closely, her protective instincts evident as she keeps a keen eye on her cub. Jake can feel her presence behind him, the raw emotion of the moment filling the air. It's a delicate situation, making sure the cub is safe without making the mother bear too aggressive. After what feels like forever, Jake manages to pull the cub out of the water. Both bear and guard stand soaked and tired, but the cub is safe. The mother bear comes closer, sniffing the air and then gently nuzzling her cub. It's a heartwarming sight, showing the unspoken bond between humans and wildlife. Jake feels a surge of emotion as he watches the mother bear care for her cub after such a scary experience. It brings tears to his eyes, reminding him of the deep connections that exist in the natural world, connections that humans are lucky enough to see. This rescue didn't just save a life, It showed the importance of conservation efforts and the delicate balance that wildlife guards like Jake work to maintain every day. The incident quickly became a topic of conversation within the reserve, highlighting the challenges and successes that come with protecting wildlife. The morning after the dramatic rescue, life at Evergreen Forest Reserve began to settle back into its usual rhythm. The incident with the bear cub had left an indelible mark on Jake Thompson, deepening his connection to the wildlife he protected. However, the true impact of the rescue was yet to unfold, as the mother bear's reaction revealed layers of emotion and behavior that Jake had never fully understood before. As Jake returned to his patrols, he couldn't shake the image of the mother bear watching him closely during the rescue. Her presence was both comforting and intense, a silent reminder of the delicate balance between humans and wildlife. Over the next few days, Jake made it a point to observe the mother bear from a safe distance, keen to understand her behavior and ensure that both she and her cub remained safe and undisturbed. Jake noticed that the mother bear, now back to her usual routine, displayed subtle changes in her interactions with her cub. She seemed more protective, often staying close to the cub even when it was safe from immediate danger. This heightened sense of vigilance indicated that the experience had left a lasting impression on her, altering her natural behavior patterns. One evening, as the sun began to set, Jake found himself by the riverbank once more, reflecting on the recent events. The mother bear approached him cautiously, her eyes meeting his in a silent exchange. There was a depth to her gaze that conveyed gratitude and perhaps a newfound trust. Jake felt a surge of emotion, moved by the unspoken bond that had formed between them during the rescue. This connection was more than just a one-time interaction. It was a testament to the mutual respect and understanding that can develop between humans and animals. Jake realized that the mother bear had recognized his role in saving her cub and had responded with a gesture of appreciation that transcended words. The emotional aftermath of the rescue had a profound effect on Jake. He found himself thinking about the mother bear and her cub more often, their bond serving as a powerful reminder of the importance of his work. The tears he shed during and after the rescue were not just tears of relief, but also of empathy and connection to the lives he was dedicated to protecting. Jake began to view his role not just as a guard, but as a guardian of the natural world, responsible for maintaining harmony between humans and wildlife. This newfound perspective fueled his passion for conservation, motivating him to go above and beyond in his duties to ensure the well-being of all creatures within the reserve. News of the rescue quickly spread throughout Evergreen Forest Reserve, sparking conversations among the staff, volunteers, and visitors. The story became a source of inspiration, highlighting the bravery and dedication required to protect wildlife. Jake's actions were celebrated and his experience was shared as an example of the impact one person can have on conservation efforts. The reserve's management team took the opportunity to reinforce the importance of training and preparedness, ensuring that all staff members were equipped to handle similar emergencies in the future. They also emphasized the significance of understanding animal behavior, encouraging guards to develop deeper insights into the creatures they protected. The mother bear's reaction provided valuable insights into bear behavior and the emotional capacities of these powerful animals. Jake collaborated with wildlife behaviorists to study the subtle changes in the mother bear's actions, aiming to gain a better understanding of how traumatic experiences can influence animal behavior. They discovered that bears, much like humans, are capable of forming strong emotional bonds and can experience stress and anxiety in response to threats to their offspring. This knowledge emphasized the need for a compassionate and respectful approach to wildlife management, ensuring that interventions were both effective and minimally intrusive. Inspired by the rescue and the lessons learned from the mother bear's reaction, the Evergreen Forest Reserve took several steps to strengthen their conservation efforts. These initiatives aim to enhance the well-being of the reserve's wildlife and ensure that future interactions between humans and animals were handled with care and respect. The reserve revamped their training programs for wildlife guards, incorporating the insights gained from the rescue operation. New modules focused on animal behavior, emergency response, and emotional resilience, ensuring that guards were well prepared to handle a variety of situations with confidence and compassion. To better track and understand wildlife behavior, the reserve invested in advanced monitoring systems, including camera traps and GPS collars. These tools provided real-time data on animal movements and interactions, allowing for more informed decision-making and proactive conservation measures. Recognizing the importance of community involvement in conservation, the reserve launched a series of educational initiatives aimed at raising awareness about wildlife protection. Workshops, guided nature walks, and interactive seminars were organized to engage the local community, fostering a sense of shared responsibility towards the reserve's mission. The reserve partnered with universities and research institutions to conduct collaborative studies on wildlife behavior and conservation strategies. These partnerships facilitated the exchange of knowledge and resources, enhancing the reserve's ability to implement effective and innovative conservation practices. The bond between Jake and the mother bear became a symbol of trust and respect within the reserve. Their story was shared with visitors and staff alike, serving as a powerful example of the positive outcomes that can result from compassionate and respectful interactions with wildlife. Jake emphasized the importance of maintaining this trust, encouraging fellow guards to approach their roles with empathy and understanding. He believed that building strong relationships with the animals was key to successful conservation efforts, fostering a harmonious coexistence between humans and wildlife. The rescue operation had a lasting impact on Evergreen Forest Reserve, shaping its approach to conservation and wildlife management. The lessons learned from Jake's experience and the mother bear's reaction were integrated into the reserve's core principles, guiding future initiatives and strategies. The reserve's policies were updated to reflect the importance of ethical conservation practices and the need for ongoing training and education. These revisions ensured that the reserve remained committed to its mission of protecting wildlife with integrity and respect. Recognizing the emotional toll that conservation work can take, the reserve implemented enhanced support systems for their staff. Counseling services, peer support groups, and stress management workshops were introduced to help guards cope with the challenges of their roles, promoting mental well-being and resilience. The success of the rescue inspired the reserve to expand their conservation programs, focusing on species preservation, habitat restoration, and community engagement. These programs aim to address a wide range of conservation challenges, ensuring the long-term health and sustainability of the reserve's ecosystems. Education and empowerment are fundamental to fostering a culture of conservation that extends beyond the reserve's boundaries. By engaging and inspiring the younger generation, Evergreen Forest Reserve ensures that the values of conservation and environmental stewardship are carried forward into the future. The reserve offers specialized programs for young people, including internships, mentorship opportunities, and hands-on conservation projects. These programs provide valuable experience and inspire a lifelong passion for protecting wildlife and the environment. Collaborating with local schools, the reserve integrated conservation education into the curriculum through field trips, guest lectures, and interactive workshops. These partnerships enhance students' understanding of ecological principles and the importance of preserving natural habitats. To support aspiring conservationists, the reserve provides scholarships and grants for students pursuing degrees in environmental science, wildlife biology, and related fields. These financial aids help remove barriers to education and empower the next generation of conservation leaders. The reserve encouraged the formation of environmental clubs and student-led initiatives that promoted sustainability and conservation within schools and communities. These clubs provided a platform for young people to take action, share ideas, and collaborate on projects that benefited the environment. Continuous monitoring and evaluation are essential for the success of conservation initiatives. Evergreen Forest Reserve employs robust systems to assess the effectiveness of their programs, track progress towards goals, and make informed decisions based on data and feedback. Regular wildlife population surveys are conducted to monitor the health and diversity of species within the reserve. These surveys provide critical data on population trends, breeding success, and habitat usage, informing conservation strategies and management decisions. Habitat health assessments evaluate the condition of various ecosystems within the reserve, identifying areas that require restoration or protection. These assessments consider factors such as vegetation cover, soil quality, water availability, and the presence of invasive species. The reserve conducts impact evaluations to measure the effectiveness of their conservation programs and initiatives. These evaluations assess whether goals are being met, identify challenges and areas for improvement, and provide insights for refining strategies to enhance outcomes. Gathering feedback from the community is integral to understanding the impact of conservation efforts and ensuring that initiatives align with local needs and values. Surveys, focus groups, and community meetings are used to collect input, fostering a collaborative approach to conservation. Climate change poses significant challenges to conservation efforts, affecting wildlife habitats, migration patterns, and ecosystem dynamics. Evergreen Forest Reserve remains proactive in addressing these challenges through adaptive management strategies and climate resilience initiatives. The reserve incorporates climate resilience into habitat restoration projects, selecting plant species that are tolerant to changing conditions and designing ecosystems that can withstand extreme weather events. These efforts enhance the reserve's ability to adapt to climate variability and protect wildlife from its adverse effects. Collaborating with climate scientists, the reserve conducts research on the impact of climate change on local ecosystems and wildlife populations. This research informs adaptive management practices and helps predict future challenges, enabling the reserve to implement proactive measures to mitigate risks. Implementing energy efficiency measures reduces the reserve's carbon footprint and contributes to broader climate change mitigation efforts. Upgrading facilities with energy-efficient lighting, heating, and cooling systems, as well as optimizing resource use, supports sustainable operations. The reserve educates the community about the importance of climate action and the role of conservation in combating climate change. Educational programs, workshops, and informational campaigns raise awareness and encourage individuals to adopt sustainable practices in their daily lives. Celebrating successes and milestones is essential for maintaining motivation and recognizing the collective efforts of the reserve's staff, volunteers, and community members. These celebrations foster a sense of accomplishment and reinforce the importance of ongoing conservation work. The reserve hosts annual awards to honor individuals and groups who have made significant contributions to conservation efforts. These awards recognize bravery, dedication, innovation, and community involvement, celebrating the diverse ways people support the reserve's mission. Significant milestones such as reaching wildlife population targets, completing major restoration projects, or launching new conservation programs are celebrated with special events. These celebrations provide opportunities to reflect on progress, share success stories, and inspire continued commitment to conservation goals. Successes are shared through newsletters, social media, and local media outlets, highlighting the achievements of the reserve and its supporters. Sharing these successes with the broader community fosters pride and encourages ongoing support for conservation initiatives. Sustaining conservation efforts requires ongoing dedication, resources, and adaptability. Evergreen Forest Reserve remains committed to maintaining the momentum gained from the rescue operation and ensuring that conservation remains a central focus of their mission. Developing sustainable funding strategies ensures the reserve has the necessary resources to continue its conservation work. Diversifying funding sources through grants, donations, partnerships, and revenue-generating activities helps secure financial stability and support for ongoing initiatives. Investing in leadership development prepares the reserve staff and volunteers to take on greater responsibilities and drive conservation efforts forward. Training programs, mentorship opportunities, and leadership workshops cultivate a skilled and motivated team dedicated to the reserve's mission. Embracing innovation and a culture of continuous improvement allows the reserve to adapt to emerging challenges and seize new opportunities in conservation. Regularly reviewing and updating conservation strategies, incorporating new technologies, and fostering a spirit of creativity and problem-solving enhance the reserve's effectiveness and resilience. Participating in global conservation networks and collaborating with international organizations connects the reserve to a broader community of conservationists. Sharing knowledge, resources, and best practices with counterparts around the world strengthens global efforts to protect wildlife and preserve ecosystems. The efforts of Evergreen Forest Reserve, led by dedicated individuals like Thompson, are leaving a lasting legacy of conservation and environmental stewardship. Their work ensures that future generations will inherit a world where wildlife thrives, ecosystems are preserved, and the beauty of nature continues to inspire awe and respect. The reserve's commitment to conservation has a generational impact, shaping the values and actions of future wildlife guards, conservationists, and community members. By instilling a deep appreciation for nature and a sense of responsibility towards its protection, the reserve fosters a legacy of environmental stewardship. The reserve's educational initiatives contribute to a broader understanding of conservation principles and the importance of protecting wildlife. Students, volunteers, and community members who engage with the reserve's programs carry forward the knowledge and passion gained, becoming ambassadors for conservation in their own lives and communities. The sustainable practices implemented by the reserve serve as a model for other conservation areas and communities. By demonstrating the effectiveness of eco-friendly initiatives, responsible research management, and ethical research practices, the reserve inspires others to adopt similar approaches in their own efforts to protect the environment. The story of the bear cub rescue and the subsequent changes at Evergreen Forest Reserve became part of the local cultural heritage, symbolizing the enduring bond between humans and wildlife. This cultural significance fosters a sense of pride and identity within the community, strengthening the collective commitment to conservation. As Jake walked along the riverbank one final time, he felt a profound sense of fulfillment. The journey that began with a single act of bravery had evolved into a comprehensive and impactful conservation effort, transforming the reserve and its community in meaningful ways. The bond he had formed with the mother bear and her cub remained a powerful reminder of the importance of compassion, courage, and dedication in the face of adversity. The Evergreen Forest Reserve stood as a beacon of hope and resilience, a testament to the power of collective action and the unwavering commitment of those who protect the natural world. Jake's story, intertwined with the stories of countless other wildlife guards, volunteers, and community members, created a tapestry of conservation efforts that would inspire and guide future generations. In the quiet moments by the river, Jake knew that the work was far from over. Conservation is an ongoing journey, one that requires vigilance, adaptability, and a deep-seated respect for the interconnectedness of all living things. But with each step forward, the reserve moved closer to a future where wildlife and humans coexist peacefully, and the beauty of nature continues to thrive. If Jake's story touched you, subscribe for more incredible wildlife adventures. Join us in celebrating the heroes who protect our natural world, and stay connected for more inspiring tales of bravery, compassion, and the enduring bonds between humans and animals.